episode of Off the Script, number 166, part number 1, for your Friday, April 21st, 2017! I got news on something that I would actually like to happen very, very much, man. News on Brock Lesnar. Summerslam's coming up. Brock Lesnar's the Universal Champion, but will it be Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, or the heavily rumored Jeff Hardy as his opponent for SummerSlam 2017? We're going to talk about it right here today on Off the Script. Also, plans for the New Day and their first feud on Smackdown Live. I'm pretty sure it's not that difficult to figure out who it's going to be against. We'll talk about that as well today on Off the Script. Bobby Roode's Glorious was originally meant for Shinsuke Nakamura? What the fuck? Holy shit, we're going to talk about that as well today on Off the Script. Simon Gotch comments on the Backstage incident prior to his WWE release, and he's going to go over how he really enjoys his chicken. So, there you go. Vader briefly collapses in the ring after his match in Japan. Backstage news on plans for the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin, and big plans for Rusev prior to his shoulder injury. All this, plus so much more, right here on Friday's episode of the number 1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes, right here on Off the Script.
JD from New York, 206, it's time for Off the Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. As always, this is the number 1 fucking podcast you're gonna hear anywhere. Right here on YouTube.com. This is indeed Off the Script, episode 166. Part number 1 for your Friday, April 21st, 2017. We got a lot to go over today. I got an unboxing from one of our loyal listeners and someone that I had the pleasure of meeting down in Orlando, man. He sent me something out of the kindness of his heart. We're going to unbox it right here today on Off the Script, so you don't want to miss that. And a ton of news and rumors, man. We're going to go over everything that is most important this week in the world of professional wrestling. People have been asking me about the Eric Bischoff situation. Mr. Bischoff reached out to me again just a couple of days ago after our first initial phone call. And he is going to reach out to me on Monday, and things are going to pick up. Okay, the IRW network is going to be a network that they, and I mean they, meaning Bischoff and Nick Hausman, his partner on his podcast, they are putting together this network of independent wrestling promotions and podcasters and everybody who's interested in finding another platform instead of doing what they're doing on YouTube. Everybody's views are up, okay? My views are up. My subs are up. It's like it used to be. But the revenue is down, okay? I sat at this desk for 5 hours on Tuesday, and I listened to Steven Larson back to back to back to back. Pretty much everything that they did all week. And their videos, to me, there wasn't one ad on any of their videos. I watched everything from their 205 NXT, Monday Night Raw, Smackdown, just their going in Raw dirt sheet, everything. Not one fucking ad. Okay, the fluctuations in the ad revenue are ridiculous. Yesterday was my best day in like 3 weeks. And then it went right back down to nothing today. So I don't know what the fuck is going on, but the IRW network is going to be a platform in which you guys can right now sign up for free. If you want to see what it's going to be all about, there's some good stuff on there right now. You can sign up for free up until June 1st. And at that point, it's going to be paid subscription. I believe I'm going to be on there, and Mr. Bischoff's going to be putting me on there, and we're going to try and come up with something, okay? I gotta gauge what you guys want to hear. I don't know if I'm going to move something that you guys see here over there. I don't know if I'm going to come up with a whole completely new podcast. I don't know. So we got to figure that out, but you guys got up until June 1st to figure out what's going on with that. You can sign up for free. It's not going to cost you anything, so visit that network down below. The link and information will be down below, but Mr. Bischoff is going to reach out to me on Monday for the next step of this whole endeavor. So wish me luck, and hopefully things go my way, and I will obviously keep you guys posted on that. Number 2, there's something interesting going on with the WWE Network, and I want to read this to you because I just found this out, I believe, what's today? Today's Friday. I found this out on Wednesday, and I was very, very happy to see this. Long-time WWE Network subscribers can win a trip to WrestleMania 34. I've been signed up to the network since day one. I've never canceled it. I've never done anything with the network. I have first signed up since it was originally launched. Okay? So, WrestleMania 34 will take place in New Orleans, Louisiana on April 8th. 2018. WWE has just announced a sweepstakes that rewards their longtime WWE Network subscribers with a chance to win themselves tickets to WrestleMania 34. Now, the details are as follows. The prize is 2 tickets to WrestleMania 34, a 2-night hotel stay, and 2 round-trip airline tickets. Can't beat that. So I'm going, and if I win, I know who I'm taking. Who is eligible? Most currently have to be, or must currently be a WWE Network subscriber. Must have first order the WWE Network before August 1st, 2014. That would be me. Must be from the U.S. And must be 18 years or older. How do you enter? You are automatically entered for the sweepstakes if you meet the requirements. No action on your part. You don't have to do anything. How many entries are you allowed? You receive 1 entry for every day you've been subscribed to the WWE Network. So I've been subscribed since 2014 when it was first launched. What was it, February? I believe it was February. The Elimination Chamber around that time, or whatever it was, No Way Out, whatever the fuck it was called. And up until right now, current day, that's a lot of fucking days. That's a lot of entries. In addition, WWE will select 34 winners on the week of April 24th. You will receive an email or a phone call if you have won. Cross my fingers that we win. So that is very interesting, man. That's a big deal. Kudos to WWE and the network for doing that and finally recognizing the long-time subscribers, man. I've been there since day one. I watch the network every fucking day. You know, whether it's something, an original, an old pay-per-view, something I got to go back and reference just for my notes here. It's great. Plus, you get all the pay-per-views. You don't got to pay fucking cable providers $60 for HD. You got HD right there, $9.99 a month. You got to be a fool not to get the network. Even if you're unhappy with the current product, and this is no sales pitch, but if even if you're unhappy with the current product, you know, don't let that steer you away from what the network really is. It's a fucking steal. And even if they did, which, you know, they sent out questionnaires about what you want to see and how they could make the network better. Do you want to see independent promotions? Even if they raise it to $12.99 or $14.99, $15 a month, they got my money. Because it's still saving you a ton of money in the end. You know? So it's worth it. And that's a lot of fucking entries for me. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that, man. Wish me luck on that. You have a chance to win tickets to WrestleMania 34. So that is unbelievable, man. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for spending your Fridays with me. I apologize for this show not being up at its normal time religiously at 11 a.m., but that's neither here or there as long as it's up. I want to thank everybody for showing support. I want to thank everybody for sitting down and enjoying your afternoon with me and off the script. I want to thank everybody that has been showing support in a variety of ways. As always, patreon.com/JD206. I want to thank everybody for really stepping the game up and really showing support and love for what I do here, man. Without you guys, this month would be a complete disaster as far as everything goes with this YouTube ad boycott. But you guys are really saving the day, man, and I appreciate everybody. From the bottom of my heart, you're the MVPs of this fucking channel, for sure. And I know a lot of other guys. I know Brian Zane just set up a Patreon. You know, I know Joe's been going hard with his Patreon. We might end up fucking moving everything to Patreon because YouTube fucking sucks dick right now. So we'll see what happens with that. But thank you guys. If you want to pledge, $1 a month. $1 a month gets you guys, well, not today because I did not upload it as of last night like I usually do, but early access to Off the Script, Discord access exclusively for Patreons, and I'm going to be coming up with some other shit as well. But thank you guys for everything. $1 a month gets you all that, as little as $1 a month, and we got 70,000 plus people watching this show every single weekend. So if each one of you guys put in $1 a month, that would go such a long way, man. It's not even fucking funny. Really, $1 a month. I know it's cheesy, everybody says it, but it goes a long way. Patreon.com/JD206. Another great way, man, is you guys are fucking kicking ass, and we broke February's record for signups. audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys get 30 days free to try Audible out, and that includes one free audiobook of your choice, no matter what it is, man. And if you guys end up canceling before the 30 days is up, you get to keep your audiobook for free. That's the best part about it, man, for free. It's not going to cost you a goddamn thing. If you guys want to stay on, by all means, stay on. It's a great service. But if you sign up, audibletrial.com/offthescript, you guys are going to get anything you want for free, one book. A lot of you guys cashed in on the AJ Lee book. A lot of you guys are asking me if Justin Roberts' new book is on there. It is not. But there's a ton of wrestling-related content. Over 180,000 books to choose from. Make sure you guys check that out. Let's break 100, man. We're almost there. And thank you to everybody that has shown love to Audible. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. We are an official partner not only with Pro Wrestling Tees, but we are partners with Barbershop Window, and that is the official home of the Off the Script shop and all the merchandise you need for this show and this channel, man. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. $19.99. They ship worldwide. 9 different designs on there. And I got to reach out to my boy who's working on the Charlotte design. I got to get him the Off the Script logo if I still have it, but we'll see what happens with that. It should be 10, hopefully. So thank you guys so much for showing support. Thank you to everybody that's pledged. Thank you to everybody that signed up for Audible. And thank you to everybody that's bought a t-shirt this week to support the show. I don't really have much else to go over in part 1. We're going to do the sub-stories as well. Speaking of that, let me pull up my email so we have that ready to go. I do want to do this unboxing. I really don't have anything else to go over. As you guys know, I was in Orlando, and we had a fan meetup, Joe and I, Joe Cronin Show. And we held a fan meetup at Bloodhound Brew. And it was a very, very chill bar, man. It was very relaxed. It was outside, which I love outside bars, man. I really do. The waitress was very nice. I remember, you know, I think I had like 4 beers, and she only charged me for 2. She didn't anticipate us, Joe and I, bringing a large crowd there, which was decent. It was about 14 people or so. And everybody was so nice. And we just talked wrestling, and we chilled, and then from there, we went to the Internet Darlings, which was one of my favorite things all week, that week. So, it was good, and I got to meet a lot of people who support the show. We've seen them over, a couple of times over the weekend. We've seen them at WrestleCon. We've seen them when Joe and I were doing the Off the Script live podcast at WrestleCon. And it was just great meeting everybody and just getting a feeling from everybody how much they appreciate what we do, man. And we're just like you guys. We're just, normal dudes who just love professional wrestling. And it really is impactful, especially at the Internet Darlings, where I met everybody collectively under one roof. And a lot of you guys told me how important Off the Script is to you. And I never want to let you guys down. And I have been going through a very, very difficult time lately. And some of my attitude is rubbed off on what I do here. Don't want to talk about it because it's very painful to me. And I have hope that everything's going to work out the way I want. But the only thing that I have right now is you guys. And you mean the world to me. Because without you guys, this channel is nothing, and I am nothing. So I hope everything works out for me in the end, and my week, you know, hopefully everything works out the way I want. That's all I could say, you know. And I don't mean to get emotional, man, but it's just been a very difficult time. And I want to be the JD you guys love. I want to be the JD that you guys come here to fucking, you know, count on when you have a shitty day. You know, we all have shitty days. I don't want to have my shitty day rub off on you guys. It's not fair. You know, I want you guys to come here to just confide in me and trust me that I'm going to put a smile on your face. And that's all I want. You know? But, Kedrick sent me this box, and he reached out to me via email. I supplied him with my address. And I don't know what it is. He said he got both me and Joe something. But I'm going to open this, and I promised him I'd open it on Off the Script. And I appreciate him not only as a listener and a viewer of Off the Script, but as a friend. And he includes a note in here. Dated April 17th, 2017. If you do an unboxing, cool. Also, okay to read my name online. I won't read your last name, bro. Hey, JD, just a quick note because I am at work and should not be typing this, but oh well. You can read this on OTS if you want, but if not, it's cool. I'm sorry about your loss. I understand totally about losing someone you were very close to. And before I even continue, I hope everything works out the way that I want. And, you know, hopefully it won't result in a loss. That's all I can say. I lost my grandmother in 2013, and till this day, I think of her daily. She was the matriarch of our family and kept everyone in check whether we liked it or not. She raised me and my mom, who is mentally handicapped. Watch the movie I Am Sam and you will understand. Life is good, but I do have my ups and downs some days. Life is good, though. I have my wife of 7 years to keep me level-headed. Love of my life, and she listens to you, too. And my mom, who lives with my aunt, comes over weekly, and I try to spend as much time with her as I can. She's getting older and suffers from dementia, and mentally, the older she gets, the younger she gets mentally, if you can understand. But she is my world. But the one thing I could count on is Off the Script on the weekends. Your WWE reviews weekly and Out of Nowhere with Joe. To keep my spirits high, just wanted to share my short story of my life. I discovered you and Joe last year after the WWE draft and was hooked ever since. Thank you for being the #1 podcast in my YouTube subscription box. Again, it was great meeting you and Joe here in Orlando during WrestleMania weekend and hanging with all of you at Bloodhound Brew and the Internet Darlings. I can't wait until New Orleans 2018. Also enclosed is a little token of appreciation for you and Joe. I sent several DMs on Twitter asking for his address to send this, but got no response. If you can reach out to him and get this to him, that will be great. That was your first NXT you attended. I work the events anytime they come to the UFC arena. Oh, the UCF arena. I'm sorry. The UCF arena. So I've done several and been on the networks a few times. The advantage of living here in Orlando. Thanks again. Hashtag Kingoon. Your supporter for life. Kedrick. And if you guys want to go follow Kedrick and show him some love from Off the Script, his Twitter is Ked, K-E-D, 22577. And he writes on the back, my bad, thought this would be short, LOL. P.S. I think you're a large. Yes, you got the size right, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate the letter. And I got a shirt here for Joe, which I'll probably mail out to him. It's probably this. It is the same shirt. This is a large. And look at that. NXT Orlando. Let me get my camera up so that I can see if I'm doing it right. NXT Orlando Takeover Florida shirt. On the back, it says we are NXT. April 1st, 2017. And that is fucking awesome, man. That is awesome. I'll wear that for Saturday's show. And I appreciate that, man. And I love the letter you wrote. And sorry I got emotional. But just keep everything in your thoughts and well wishes. I could certainly use them. And that's all I could say. I got Joe's shirt here. I'll try to mail that out to him as soon as possible. And I appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. It was just, it was just a pleasure just meeting you and everybody else down there. And that's all we needed. Because Joe and I, we were at WrestleCon after we did the podcast. And, we were at the Internet Darlings. And we discussed everything afterwards. You guys were literally the best thing about the entire weekend. And just having that type of fan interaction, I can't wait for that and that aspect and for it to be even larger at WrestleMania 34. So thank you again. I can't wait to see you down in New Orleans. And I can't wait to see a lot of you guys down in New Orleans. So thank you, man. I appreciate it. And it's a beautiful shirt. Thank you so much. Moving on, we're going to... We do have another unboxing, which I will save for tomorrow's show. That Wrestling Club. They sent me the newest box. We're going to unbox that. Coupon codes as well for that if you guys want to check that out. Also, I did mention on Off the Script Extra. If you guys missed, I did an NXT review and an Off the Script Extra review on Thursday. Both of them went up. NXT went up at 11. Off the Script Extra went up at 4. Both of those videos are live on the channel right now. Make sure you guys go and check those out. I would greatly appreciate your support on that. If you missed NXT, it was a great show. Off the Script Extra, we got more news. More news on top of news with the Broken Hardys. What WWE is thinking about with Jeff Hardy. Both Triple H and Vince McMahon have major plans for Jeff Hardy. News on Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton collectively. What's going to happen with the House of Horrors match. And news on a stipulation coming, which I pitched. Might be actually coming true, man, with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman at Payback. So all that is live on the channel right now. Off the Script Extra and NXT review. But I also have a Loot Crate sponsorship that's coming up that spans all of Loot Crate that I just got approved for. So now we are sponsored by Loot Crate. Gonna be awesome. Gonna be a fourth way to support this channel, man. So I'll let you guys know the details on Saturday's show of Off the Script, okay? Let's get on with the sub-stories, man. I want to get into the sub-stories. I'm going to do 3 today because I want to kind of get through these, and some of these are short this week. So we'll do that, and then we'll get on with the news and rumors, and I appreciate everybody, okay? Let's read the first one, and if you guys want to send in your sub-stories, if you guys want to share anything with the family here on Off the Script, if you want to share anything with me, you can always email me directly, jdfromny206@yahoo.com. This comes from James Robinson. Hi, JD. My name is James, and I am 19, and I am from Scotland in the UK. And by the way, he titles this, please read this, My Life in Scotland. I am from Scotland in the UK. I really want to become a YouTuber, but money is tight right now, so I can't get the proper equipment. My hobbies are watching football and playing Xbox, and obviously watching my favorite YouTuber on YouTube, JD from NY206. The reason I'm emailing you is to tell you about my life in Scotland. I was born in Glasgow, then our house in Royston was burglarized, and we needed to move to, if I can pronounce this, Kirkintilloch. I probably butchered that, but I'm a goon. Then we moved to Townhead, and then back to Kirky, and then back to Townhead again. It was like a roller coaster. I was getting sick of it. I needed to move primary schools from Hillhead Primary in Kirky to St. Mungo's in Glasgow. I kept doing that for a couple of years. Then the St. Mungo's head teacher just went, no, he's not coming back because you're always moving him. So I stayed in Hillhead primarily till I left there and went to St. Roach's in Glasgow. And I actually was really surprised that I didn't move high schools. So I stayed there till I left. And there, too, I went straight from school into a job. And I've had that job ever since. But it's just like your job. There are assholes. And he spelt it arseholes. Assholes. Really, I just don't like it in there no more. I only do 4 to 5 hours in Debenhams. And it's shit, really, but I'm looking for work. But it's really hard to find a job these days. That's why I want to start YouTube, because it's what I want to do. And it makes me happy when I see you doing Off the Script and Off the Script Extra. You're amazing Smackdown reviews and Raw reviews. Keep up the good work. When I watch them, I am in my own world. I put my problems away and just watch you be wonderful. I really want to go to WrestleMania 34 and see you and hang out with you for a bit. So I'm going to make it a goal to get a full-time job and save money up for WrestleMania 34. But thanks for being amazing, and please keep up what you are doing. Thanks, James Robinson. Keep working, bro. Don't worry about the YouTube now. You know, I started the YouTube thing as a hobby. A lot of you guys know my story. I worked in Midtown Manhattan for 4 years until I was wrongfully terminated, and I was home. I was home for 8 months, and I lost a lot of my friends. A lot of my friends didn't really check up on me at all, and it was a very depressing time. Until one day I got a call from one of my old bosses at the job I was terminated from, and he gave me connects, and he hooked me up with a new job at some high-end watch place in Manhattan, Wall Street area. And I was there for a couple of years, and I eventually left because I quit. I walked out on my own because I hated my boss after 2 years of working with him. And I am where I am now. But I started YouTube as a hobby. I went very inexpensive with the equipment. You can get a Logitech camera for about $50. You can get a Blue Snowball microphone for $50. A pop filter for like $8. You know, and that's all you need. And then just bring you to the table. Bring your personality. You know, and people will flock. And that's how I built my audience, man. I always see people trying to do this and get ahead and this and that, and I am very, very proud that I built my business and my fan base, and I built all this and do what I do from a hobby because I loved it, and that passion turned into something that I could really take. I can't even tell you where. I have so many high goals for what I do here, you know? Start off as a hobby. Do it because you love it. If there's no love in it, you're not going to be successful. People will come, okay? Worry about getting your life right, work, make some money, be able to support yourself. If that WrestleMania goal is something that you want to achieve, do it and work your ass off at it. And I'd love to meet you down at WrestleMania 34. And please, if you're all going to be there and you're going to work your ass, you got 360-something days to work yourself there, man. Do it. And I'll definitely, you said you're 18, 19? You're not going to be able to drink with me, but I'll get you seltzer water, and you can share a table with me as I drink some Guinness. All right, so on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. So keep working at it, man, and start the YouTube, but don't have high hopes for it right away. Do it because you love it. That is the most important thing I can tell you. So thank you to James Robinson for sending me his subscriber story. We have something here from Cameron Shank. And this comes from Cameron. He, I don't know if it's a he or a she. Excuse me. I'm a goon. But Cameron says, hey JD, sorry if I sent this to the wrong email. I'm a goon when it comes to technology. You are welcome to read this on Off the Script, but that wasn't my goal. I just want to tell you that you're my influence in life. I've been a wrestling fan for most of my 18 years, and since I can remember, I've been what is referred to as a smart mark. People call me a smart mark, but you got to understand the one word in that meaning, in that term, is smart. I might be a mark, but I know I'm smarter than all the people that fucking want to talk shit about me. That's the main thing. It's sort of a gift and a curse, as my family consists of non-wrestling fans and WWE casuals. It's tough some days, trying to explain to my dad who people are, and to my mom why I like so many promotions, and to my aunt and cousin why people from the Attitude Era shouldn't be winning matches against today's talent unless it's The Undertaker. The funny thing is my dad is signed up to the network now because he sees what I'm doing. And he tells me every time he sees me, I like that Delete. Who's that guy, Delete? I'm like, Dad, it's fucking Matt Hardy. And he's like, I know he deleted you, right? I'm like, yeah, he deleted me, So my dad's getting into it because of what I'm doing here, and he sees that I'm having fun, and I love what I'm doing, so it's kind of rubbing off on him, too. My mom doesn't give a shit. She'll always be in love with Macho Man Randy Savage and The Undertaker and guys like that because, she's seen me grow up with those types of guys, and she doesn't know Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and all these guys, but she knows that I do it, and she knows that I love it, and I still watch it. My dad's trying to get into it, and, the funny thing is he doesn't like Enzo and Cass as well, so that kind of was humorous to me. So my dad's kind of getting into the whole thing, so it's okay if your family don't understand. They don't understand a lot of things. Past couple years have been okay. I've recently come to terms with the fact that I am an asexual, have no sexual desire, and an aromatic, have no romantic desire. I never heard of that before. No romantic desire. I'm sorry to hear that. Lately, I've been really stressed and I'm currently writing a book and hope to be published one day. But it is exceedingly difficult. So sometimes I'll put on some off the script and write, and the words just start to flow. There's now no such thing as a writer's block to me, and I am extremely grateful for that. I found your channel in 2015 leading up to WrestleMania 31 and have been listening ever since. I recently subscribed a few weeks ago. Sorry it took so long. You, Joe, Steven Larson make my day every day. And those are very good individuals to be subscribed to. And the way you all interacted with each other at the Internet Darlings Live made me mark out. I'm about to graduate high school and starting to get the pieces to place my life together. I'm hoping to get enough money for my graduation party to help you out a bit. I read your story on Patreon and fully support your cause, but I don't have the money right now to donate. I am not big on social media, so I am not involved that way, but I assure you that you will be the first person I pledge to. Keep doing what you're doing. It's nice to see that there is another intelligent person out there. I hope everything in your life works out the way you want. Cameron. I appreciate it, Cameron. As long as you've been watching, and as long as I proved to you, and you deemed me worthy of a subscribe button, it doesn't matter when you subscribed, as long as you subscribed. And I hope everything works out for you, and I hope everything works out for me, and I appreciate you supporting. So thank you so much, and I hope you don't mind that I read your story on Off the Script, and I am glad I could be your cure for writer's block. So keep writing, and let me know, keep in touch with me about your book, and hopefully one day I see that your book gets published and your dreams do come true. Thank you so much. We're going to read one more here. We are going to read from James Parker. This one's a short one, so I read 3. James Parker writes, "Hey JD, love your show. I'm 34 years old, from Ireland. I lost my dad in 2009 due to a long-term battle with MS. He was a legend. In 2015 December, my mother passed away due to an overdose of Valium and codeine, as my mother lost half of her life when my dad died. They never drank. When my father got diagnosed in 1981, a year before my birth, he tried to break off the wedding to save my mother from years of pain due to his physical decline. But my mother knew there was more to it and demanded they get married, as she loved him so much, and he loved her so much. And I never seen a happier couple ever. Now I'm in the rented family house with my dog, my best friend, my black lab, Snoop Dogg. But the council are trying to throw us out. hanging in there at the moment, fingers crossed, as I suffer from panic attacks and I am an only child. However, listening to your show cheers me up and takes me out of my world and chills me out with a few beers. I found new love and I'm started to work in June. Keep up the good work. Goons forever. Cheers. Parker. I'm sorry that you went through losing your dad and your mother. I can't even imagine that being at 34 years old. And I don't even know where to start with this, man. I'm glad that you find solace in Off the Script. I'm happy to see that your parents did get married because they loved each other. And I don't want to see anybody go through the physical heartbreak of losing your other half. It sucks, you know. But I hope everything works out for you, man. Keep working, and I will be here whenever you need me, man. That's all. That's something you can count on every single week. Rain or shine, no matter what, man. I will be here. Keep working. I hope you do well at your job in June. And just take it easy, man. I hope everything works out for you. You got my email. Keep in touch with me. All right? Thank you so much for being supportive. And I'm glad I could at least brighten your day somewhat. Thank you so much. That is everything, guys. We're going to get into the news. I got a ton of news to go over. We're going to start off with the Brock Lesnar story. Rumors going that Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, or Jeff Hardy will be challenging Brock Lesnar at Summerslam. We're going to go over all of that. And Off the Script will begin, man. This is the #1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes right here on YouTube.com. And I will be back right after this with your news and rumors.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Broken Man Hardy. This is JD from New York. Actually, delete JD from New York. I have cleaned this vessel. Make sure to check out his wonderful show, Off the Script. It's absolutely delightful.
Whether you love him or hate him, Brock Lesnar is the WWE Universal Champion. I myself was a fan of his first run as WWE Champion when he destroyed John Cena at SummerSlam a few years back and just really put a stamp on WWE as, listen, nobody's going to fuck with me. And it was the only thing that they could have done coming out of the WrestleMania 30 outcome in which he beat The Undertaker and conquered what nobody else in WWE history has been able to conquer. The streak. I thought Brock Lesnar brought legitimacy to the WWE Championship. I, for one, enjoy when the WWE Championship or the World Champion is not presented every show. And I stated this from the very beginning. You could even see some of what WWE does with Brock Lesnar. It's going to be done the same way with Shinsuke Nakamura. People are asking, why is Shinsuke Nakamura not on Monday Night Raw? Why is he in dark matches with Dolph Ziggler every single week? There's a few reasons for that. Number one, don't you think that when Dolph and Shinsuke actually have a legit pay-per-view match that it's going to be a 4-star easy? Don't you think WWE is using Shinsuke in the right way as a dark match attraction because he's the most must-see guy on that brand? Dark match right before 205 Live. That ensures people will stay to watch 205 Live, at least some of them. And Shinsuke is a rock star. Shinsuke is something that you need to treat as something special. You can't treat him like a toy. You can't treat him like a fucking song you can listen to over and over and over and over again. You're going to get bored of it. You're going to grow tired of it. The entrance is not going to be as impactful. Nakamura has the entrance, and he's got the music, and he's got the fucking crowd in the palm of his hand. You don't want to wear that away each and every week. That's why I don't mind if he's not on Smackdown. I mean, what good is it if you're going to put him in a match against, I don't know, who's a bum on SmackDown Live? Who's a fucking bum? I don't even know. Bo Dallas, for example. He's not, I think he's on Raw, but, I mean, you're going to put Nakamura in a match with Bo Dallas? Come on, man. Doesn't make any sense. Logistically, it doesn't make any sense. You got to keep him fresh. You got to keep him away so that people want to see him more. And then when he comes, you know it's important. Same thing with Brock Lesnar. Same thing with Brock Lesnar. You keep Lesnar away because he's an attraction. Lesnar made $12 million last year in WWE. Now, I understand you want to get the most out of that $12 million that you possibly can, but you also got to take into consideration that if you see Lesnar every week, you're going to be like, fuck this guy, you know? But when Lesnar shows up once a month, you know, once every other month, whatever the case may be, you know he's there for a specific reason, and you know it's an important show. Oh, who's Brock Lesnar going to confront tonight? Who's his next opponent? You don't put Brock Lesnar in a match on Monday Night Raw. I mean, I would like if that happened at least once. That'd be a great drawing technique for WWE. You know, schedule Brock Lesnar for his first match on Monday Night Raw in X amount of years. You know, title doesn't need to be on the line, but have it be something special. Only bring him back when something is big and special. Brock Lesnar's WWE Universal title reign is expected to last through at least SummerSlam. The early word is that the powers that be have already chosen his opponent for the biggest party of the summer. WWE, and the WWE Universe, I should say, isn't thrilled about Brock Lesnar winning the WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania 33, only to take it with him on hiatus because it robs the best or the rest of Raw's roster of opportunities while he's away for months at a time. Those are casuals. Okay? This is the same thing that WWE had when he was the WWE champion, and there was no roster split. But WWE failed to capitalize on it. With Lesnar away, holding Raw's biggest title, you also have the second biggest title in the WWE on that brand. So the WWE Intercontinental Championship has been absolutely a piece of shit. You start presenting that in your main events on Monday Night Raw. You start positioning that with guys you want to pull up the ladder. It's going to work out. Lesnar doesn't need to be there. There are other championships for you to be invested in. The IC title should be main eventing shows. The Cruiserweight Championship you have on Monday Night Raw. You got the Women's Championship. You got the Tag Team Championship. There are plenty of championships for you to be concerned with. But the one that's going to have the most adverse effect with the Universal Championship being away is the IC title. WWE and the fans should not look at this as, oh, we just gave the champion to a part-timer. Fuck that guy. He's going to take the title off the show. The title doesn't need to be on the show every week when you have something as prestigious as the Intercontinental Championship. It's in WWE's hands to now book it the way it should be. You gotta think. It's been reported that WWE officials have penciled in Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans next year. Penciled. It's not written in blood yet. The expectation is that Lesnar will be holding on to the WWE Universal Championship until that event. The WWE Universe is likely to get more frustrated with that as time passes. But the powers that be are planning to give most stars on Raw their chance to take on the Beast Incarnate over the next year. Brock Lesnar won't be appearing or defending the WWE Universal Championship at Payback in less than 2 weeks. It's still undecided on when he will return to WWE television to meet his first challenger. It appears that Braun Strowman is preparing to be the first opponent for him, which will happen before SummerSlam. The reason for that is because WWE is planning another huge opponent for SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar. It's being reported that Braun Strowman will get his shot at the Universal Championship soon, but he will also continue feuding with Roman Reigns through SummerSlam. That will leave Brock open for a new rivalry for the event. As of this report, there are 3 names that are likely to face Brock Lesnar at the pay-per-view. Seth Rollins has taken on the Beast Incarnate before, but he's a babyface now. The dynamic would be quite different, especially with Lesnar holding the championship this time around. Rollins should have a good amount of momentum after beating Samoa Joe as well, which I don't think should happen at all. Joe should not have an L on his record. WWE officials don't seem to be booking Seth Rollins with long-term plans in mind. He's an option to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, but there are better options. Jeff Hardy is also expected to get a huge push from WWE officials over the next few months. Apparently, his match with Cesaro on Raw this week was a trial run to see if the fans still respond to him like they did a few years ago during his main event run. Eventually, he will be back in the main event picture. WWE is planning a lot of new feuds for Hardy. Hardy versus Lesnar is one of the possibilities which could happen over the summer. It was rumored right after WrestleMania 33 that Finn Balor would re-enter the WWE Universal title picture very quickly after returning to WWE television because it made sense, being that he had the title stripped away from him due to circumstances beyond his control. He was the first Universal Champion, was forced to vacate the title. He never lost it to anybody, which is expected to become a storyline sooner rather than later. It's obvious that the Beast Incarnate versus the Demon is a big money match for an event like SummerSlam. And that would be a nice comeuppance for Finn Balor if he goes back to SummerSlam again this year and challenges for the title that he won for the first time, being the first ever Universal Champion this year. Just something to think about. And that Demon versus Beast thing, I think that's a good visual and a good concept for WWE, and I think they'll be all over that. The biggest show of the summer is still roughly 4 months away. It will be here fast, but WWE officials are concerned about building up Strowman for Braun versus Brock at some point over the next couple of months. It will be some time before Lesnar's opponent for WWE SummerSlam is revealed. However, the early choices are strong. The universe will determine who gets the opportunity, and things like injuries and other factors will come into play as well. No matter what, Brock Lesnar will have a huge match at the event regardless. I was the one to pitch Lesnar versus Joe. I wouldn't book Lesnar with the WWE Universal Championship all the way to WrestleMania. I wouldn't. I think that's too long. They did it with his first WWE Championship run, but those were under different circumstances. They had the Money in the Bank, which they could always rely on, so it made for intriguing television. They still had John Cena in the fray. They had Seth Rollins in the fray. That triple threat match they had at the Rumble that year was fucking fantastic. There was a bunch of other factors that WWE does not have for Lesnar this time around on Monday Night Raw. Money in the Bank is a Smackdown exclusive pay-per-view. They don't have the option of Money in the Bank unless they tend to do one on their own, or if they want to do one on their own for Raw, I don't know. Which I still don't understand why Money in the Bank is not a dual-branded pay-per-view with 3 Raw guys or 4 Raw guys versus 4 SmackDown guys, or 3 Raw guys versus 3 SmackDown guys. That could have been a dual-branded pay-per-view. That's got dual-branded written all over it. Why are you going to take away the option of a Money in the Bank from one brand and just give it to the other exclusively? I don't understand that. Instead of having both brands battle for it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But things are different for Brock Lesnar this time around. This is Brock Lesnar's last year under his current deal. I'm sure WWE is going to try and sign him. He made $12 million last year. He'll probably be looking at $15 million this year. He's going to want more money because Brock doesn't come cheap at all. But Finn Balor is an intriguing opponent. I don't like it. I really don't. It's similar in ways to what we were talking about with years ago, Daniel Bryan, but again, it's not, because Finn Balor is not Daniel Bryan. He doesn't have the entire yes movement that Daniel Bryan built up for him. He's not coming off a huge WrestleMania 30 win for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It would have been under different circumstances. I would have loved, and a lot of people would have loved to see Daniel Bryan, which he ultimately would have got creamed. He would have got destroyed, but at least he would have put up a fight. They wouldn't let him go out on his own and just fucking get destroyed. He would have put up a good fight, and I would have loved to see the dynamic of Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. Just the dynamic and what those two guys can create in the ring. Very similar to what Punk and Lesnar did, which was a great match. But Finn Balor, I don't think is there. I really don't. And everybody's concerning themselves with Balor being injury prone. They want to really put him in there against Brock Lesnar, who is known to be a fucking animal, So I don't know if that's a good choice right now. I think Balor will challenge for the Universal Championship when the time is right. I don't think the time is right now. Rollins, I am not keen on Rollins at all. I don't have anything against Rollins. I just think he's boring. I don't think he's built up at all. WWE has really, let Rollins dip down the ladder on Monday Night Raw. And Stone Cold Steve Austin was very vocal about this on one of his recent shows. Seth Rollins has no identity. You don't know who he is. He had identity when he was in the Authority, and he had identity when he was winning both the WWE Championship and the United States Championship at the same time. That's the architect. I don't know who this Seth Rollins is. It's a broken down version of Seth Rollins. So Rollins, to me, against Lesnar isn't really all that intriguing. That leaves Jeff Hardy. That leaves Brother Nero and Brock Lesnar. I mean, I like that match more so than the two mentioned here, for sure. Give Jeff Hardy a rest. Don't throw him in there. Don't overwork him. WWE sees money in Jeff. Vince loves Jeff. Triple H loves Jeff. So if you got both the biggest names who matter most in that company pulling for you and have your back, that's all you need. Matt's eventually going to be split off. He's probably going to be put on another brand because we don't want the same thing to happen like it did last time where Jeff overshadows Matt. They got to be both two different, completely different entities. So they might move Matt to Smackdown. Who knows? Jeff obviously is going to be on Raw. Jeff versus Brock is definitely an intriguing match. I like the dynamic better of Jeff against Brock than I do Rollins or Balor. I don't necessarily think Jeff is going to win the title, but out of the three, he's my choice. I think that would make for a star-studded main event for SummerSlam. Still not my ideal match for SummerSlam. I think Joe is the ideal man. And I think Joe should win the Universal Championship. I honestly do believe. I think Joe should be the one to hold the Universal Championship from SummerSlam to WrestleMania. I think you build Joe up as the destroyer. And you have Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman go at it without the title on the line. And then you can have Strowman go over clean and really add some credibility to his stock if he beats Brock Lesnar. Because if Brock Lesnar has the championship, you're not going to have Braun Strowman beat Brock Lesnar for the championship. It's not Braun's time. But if there was no title on the line, it's a little bit easier of a pill to swallow. Braun could have that huge win under his belt, then he could challenge for the Universal Championship down the line. He'll always have that on his resume. I beat Brock Lesnar. Where's my title shot? Joe can run through guys. Joe can run through Rollins again. Joe can run through Hardy. Joe could run through Strowman. Joe can run through anybody. Reigns. And you build Joe versus Balor at WrestleMania. Because Balor is eventually going to get his title shot, That's the most logical way to do it. Or I don't know what you guys are thinking. I think Joe should be Universal Champion. I think Joe should be the one to take down Lesnar. That match, out of anything, intrigues me the most because it's the most legit match you could book. Strowman also provides a level of legitimacy, but I can't see WWE having Lesnar and Strowman for the title because it's not going to result good in Strowman's favor. You got to keep Strowman strong, especially after what he's been doing. So WWE looks like they have shot themselves in the foot every which way. How it's going to result, what's going to be the outcome of this, I don't know. But to me, Joe, a name not mentioned here, is the best possible match for a SummerSlam main event. But if I had to choose one here, Jeff Hardy. That's just the way I'm seeing it. Big update on Shelton Benjamin's WWE status. Everybody's asking where Shelton Benjamin is. Why isn't he on SmackDown Live? In some surprising and unfortunate news, Shelton Benjamin has revealed that he is not currently under WWE contract. Not only that, but he was signed with them during the brand split in the first place, even when they were promoting his impending return to TV. That news came from Benjamin himself, who went on Twitter to answer fans' questions about his status. It was actually a reply to both Steve and Larson. "Let me clear this up now," he says. "I am not signed to WWE. I never was signed due to my injury. While that could change, as of 4/16/2017, I am a free agent." The initial announcement of his return was a bit of a surprise, but this latest chapter just makes the whole ordeal stranger. It's also a depressing development to Benjamin and his fans due to the timing of everything. On the July 26th episode of SmackDown Live last year, a vignette hyped Benjamin's impending arrival. He was getting set to make his big return to the company for the first time since 2010 and would be joining fellow release talent Rhino and Kurt Hawkins on the Blue brand. For many, it was the most exciting return of the group due to their fondness of the athletically gifted Benjamin from years ago. But for Shelton, it was not meant to be. Just a few weeks later, on August 7th, Benjamin found out that he had a torn rotator cuff while undergoing a WWE physical and was told that he'd have to miss a considerable amount of time in the ring. Originally, though, it was expected to be 4 to 6 months of recovery, but he's gone well past that time frame, which led many wondering what his status was. Some fans are still assuming that he would debut on SmackDown Live after he was cleared to return to the ring, thinking he must have originally signed a deal with the company over the summer. However, over 8 months after he revealed his injury, he still hadn't shown up on TV. Someone had to break the news as to what was going on, so Benjamin took it upon himself. It's now hard to say if Benjamin will ever show up on SmackDown or even Monday Night Raw, even NXT for that matter, in the near future, which is unfortunate. WWE would have to reach out again, negotiate, give him another physical, and most importantly, find a place that he fits in on the show. Due to his age, 41, if WWE is going to bring him back, they should probably do it soon. Benjamin originally debuted in WWE late 2002 as part of Team Angle. He found success with Charlie Haas and Kurt Angle, then later went out on his own and nearly broke through to the main event scene. In a classic match on Raw, Benjamin pinned Triple H right after being drafted to the show in 2004. He looked poised to become a big star for the WWE, but it never panned out for Benjamin. After being paired with his mama, his career was sunk and never came close to reaching its past heights. The last we saw of Benjamin in WWE was on the ECW brand and was mainly used to put over younger talent. Perhaps one more run could help him reach some of his unfulfilled potential. Despite being over 40, Benjamin is still in fantastic shape and has kept himself busy post-WWE by competing in Japan and Ring of Honor. If he joined SmackDown, he would have a great environment full of great matches to look forward to with Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens for the United States Championship, and more. He's a reliable hand in the ring and has a ton of experience around the globe. There's a lot of good reasons for the company to bring him in, but it's no longer a sure thing if that is going to happen. The entire situation is a shame for a lot of fans, as SmackDown was so close to having a feel-good story in the return of Shelton Benjamin. Hopefully, WWE realizes that any of their brands could still use his talent and that the gold standard will get to end his wrestling career on a high note in WWE. Just based on that fact alone, man, I would love to see Kevin Owens and Shelton Benjamin go at it for the United States Championship. I think that's got money written all over it. Matches with AJ Styles, matches with Sami Zayn. I mean, Shelton Benjamin was one of the most athletically gifted guys I have ever seen in WWE. 41 is not old. If he's conditioning himself right and taking care of his body, at 41, he could lend so much to SmackDown. Even Raw, you know? But I think he bleeds blue more than he does red. That's just my honest opinion. I think he would fit much better on SmackDown. You know? You can even pair him with American Alpha if you want. That's another idea you could probably do. You know, you can make American Alpha and Shelton Benjamin the new group. You know, not necessarily a Team Angle, but something along those lines. I think all those three guys could easily feed off one another. That's just something that I literally just came up with right now. It works. But with Shelton Benjamin being 41, 41 is not old, man. 41 is still young enough for SmackDown to do a lot with. And Benjamin, if he's healthy enough, there's no reason for WWE to not sign this guy. They're looking for talent. They're bringing in Mike Bennett and Maria. I'm hearing they're signed to SmackDown. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that, but it's looking like they are not even going to NXT, which is a little bizarre to me because the WWE fans, the casuals, don't know who a Mike Bennett is. I don't think he's got a big enough name built up for himself wherever he came from and in TNA to be placed on SmackDown immediately. To me, that's a straight to NXT type deal. You know? Maybe not Maria, because Maria was already on the WWE main roster, but Mike Bennett, you know, I don't know how they're going to bring him in. Are they going to bring him in as the Miracle? Are they going to give him a whole new gimmick completely? Are they going to have him come out during one of these things with Kevin Owens and pull off an upset and win the United States Championship? Mike Bennett, you know? I don't know what's going on. To me, that's a straight to NXT move. I don't know why they're putting him on the main roster, or it's rumored that he's going to the main roster with Maria. I don't know. But Shelton Benjamin, got to be signed. WWE, you know, they're always looking for talent. If he's available, sign him. It does more positive than anything. There's absolutely no negative to bringing in Shelton Benjamin whatsoever, and I'm sure everybody wants to see it as well. Let's get excited. Hopefully Shelton Benjamin comes back to WWE television, and we see the gold standard again on Tuesday nights. WWE news here, man. We got backstage news on plans for Baron Corbin. Now, I have been very high on Baron Corbin. I have been very impressed with what Baron Corbin has done and where he's come from. WWE is very high on Baron Corbin. Him and Braun Strowman are expected to receive the biggest pushes over the next year, and the company sees Corbin as having more potential as a main event talent over Strowman. Fans are seeing the push for Strowman right away as he's become the main focus of Raw. Corbin's push, on the other hand, won't come until later this year. I am predicting Corbin wins Money in the Bank. You heard it here first. I've been saying it for months. It's going to happen. According to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the reason why Corbin didn't get the WWE Championship match against Randy Orton at Backlash, and the reason why it's going to Jinder Mahal instead, is because the company is saving that match for a much bigger show. Instead, that title opportunity is, like I said, going to Jinder Mahal. WWE feels like Corbin can be a top heel on SmackDown Live after the Superstar shakeup. He is still expected to receive a title shot over the next few months, but the company decided to wait a little bit longer. Expect Corbin to play a big role in the main event scene on SmackDown in 2017. Not only that, if things go as planned, Corbin could be a big factor in the WWE's main event picture for the next few years. I like that they're holding off on this. I was totally against the rumor that Randy Orton was going to be battling Baron Corbin at Backlash because it was merely going to be a buffer to see how he does and how he fares. It was going to be a test. But if Corbin's going to go into that, do you really want to end that on a shitty note, DQ, count out? Clearly you can't pin Corbin, because if he's going to be your next big thing, nobody's going to take him seriously if you're going to throw him right into the main event of SmackDown and lose to Randy Orton. Not going to make any sense. That doesn't make any booking sense whatsoever. Also, another thing, which I'm glad that they're doing, is they're waiting. Okay? Far too many times does WWE find someone that they're fucking high on and they want to push to the moon, scale it back. They're not pushing Nakamura straight to the moon. They're going to make you wait. Because if you push Nakamura to the moon, it's not going to go off well. It's not going to look good. The fans are probably going to be like, too fast. Let them wait. The longer you wait, the more you want it. So Baron Corbin is going to go through the same test. The longer you wait, the more you're going to come on here and on message boards and on Twitter and say, I think he's ready. When is he going to get his shot? If you push him too soon, fans are going to revolt. You're going to get that disgusting taste in your mouth, just like we have with Roman Reigns, that the guy was pushed too soon and you're not going to want to see him succeed. You're going to want to see him fail. I don't want to see that for Baron Corbin because I enjoy Baron Corbin. I think he's got a lot to give, and I think he's getting better. And he's going to be one of the best big men in WWE. They've done a great job at building him right now, positioning him in main events with AJ Styles, positioning him in big moments, matches with John Cena. He's always hanging around the main event. He's learning. Let him learn. Don't push him yet. Have him win Money in the Bank first, and then that's going to open people's eyes. Oh my God, Corbin and what he's done so far deserves to win Money in the Bank. And now people will take him seriously enough to when he cashes it in, they're ready to see him as world champion. That's just me. I don't know what you guys think about that, but let me know what you are thinking about Baron Corbin. Are you happy that WWE scaling him back and putting Jinder Mahal in there? Look at it this way. You know, WWE is waiting on making Baron's star brighter, and they're giving you Jinder, which I know a lot of people don't like, but we're getting another guy to get an opportunity in the main event. So instead of giving Corbin the shot and only having one, we're waiting on Corbin because we know he's going to get there, but we're getting Jinder as well. So we got two. We got two stars in the making, potentially. I don't know what Jinder's going to do next week. I don't know what Jinder's going to do at Backlash. Hopefully he proves everybody wrong. The more stars you have, the better. Can't fault WWE for thinking that and going that route. Okay? Moving on here, we got news on Vader briefly collapsing in the ring after his last match in Japan. Vader announced last year that he was dealing with heart issues and was only given a few years to live. He had a scare on Thursday at a wrestling event in Japan to celebrate the 45th anniversary of his debut of Tatsumi Fujinami. Vader teamed with Muto, Keiji Muto, and Akira to take on Riki Koshu, Shiro Koshinaka, and Tatsumi Fujinama in a 6-man tag team match. Fucking tongue twister there, man. Try saying that fucking 10 times fast. In a 6-man tag at the event, Vader reportedly collapsed briefly in a scary moment after the match. On Twitter, Vader says that he did collapse, but it had nothing to do with his heart issues and was because that he was dropped on his head. So he did tweet. Last night, the first match for Fujinami's 45th anniversary show in Tokyo sold out. Did the opening spot with Fujinami. I was dropped on my head. It had absolutely nothing to do with my heart, but rather my head. And yes, I did collapse. The fact I was out cold. Thank you, Lord. I don't know what he says here. He mixed up his words. Thank you, Japanese wrestling. I love it. So regardless of what happened, you know, Vader is okay. Vader is fine. Scare, but I know he's been doing DDP yoga. I know that he lost. I think at last I seen he lost 30 pounds. So DDP is taking Vader under his wing and trying to get him down to a reasonable weight, something where it doesn't put all that pressure on his heart, which we don't know if he's bullshitting, if he's got heart problems or not. But he did pass out in Japan, and all looks to be okay here. But he did pass out, and he says it had nothing to do with his heart. It was merely because he was dropped on his head. We got news on Simon Gotch, Mr. Catering himself. I'm hearing through the grapevine that he misses Titus's sweet potatoes. Simon Gotch was recently interviewed by For the Win. He spoke on a wide variety of topics about his WWE career as a member of the Vaudevillains. He also spoke about his future in wrestling after WWE, where he will be wrestling under the name Simon Grimm with 2 M's. After his WWE release, there was a rumor floating around that Gotch was involved in an incident in catering at the Smackdown after WrestleMania 33. Only a day later, it was announced that Gotch was released from the WWE. During the interview, Gotch tells his side of what happened, and I quote, this is from Simon Grimm. The actual story is that it happened at WrestleMania. I was sitting in catering, and the chair I was in was kind of flimsy. So all we know from right then and there is that Titus needs more stable chairs for his clientele in catering. Somebody get Titus a fucking folding chair that works. Please. None of this plastic shit. Gotta be steel. Stainless steel. Okay? I go to shift in and it just collapses underneath me. Being a ham, my immediate reaction was to demand someone to pin me. Someone pin me quick. The guy who comes over, I think he works for us. I didn't realize he was on a local technician. I didn't realize he was a local technician and was not a WWE technician. He was someone who worked on the set at Mania. He came to help me up, and I'm like, nope, you gotta pin me. Come on, man. And he's not going along with the bit. He thinks I just fell, and he's trying to help me. I see the bit's going nowhere, so I take the chair, and I just kick it off to the side. Drop it like a little punt and let it lay where it lands. That was it. I saw the storyline, or I saw the story online saying that I fell in the chair and made a big scene and was yelling and screaming. No, that part is inaccurate. Everything else I told was the accurate part of the story. Gotch also shut down a rumor circulating that he was involved in an incident with his tag team partner, Aiden English. So that's Simon Gotch's part of the story. There's always two sides to a story. That's his side. Who the fuck knows what happened? But all we know is that Simon Gotch, a.k.a. Simon Grimm, is no longer in WWE. He desperately misses Titus Catering, and we wish him the best in his future endeavors. There you go. Like anybody cares what's happening with Simon Grimm. Do you? I don't. Don't even know why I reported it. This is something interesting, and I'm glad panned out the way that it did. Because I cannot envision this at all. At all. And I'm pretty sure you guys think the same way. Bobby Roode's theme, Glorious, was originally supposed to be for Shinsuke Nakamura. Bobby Roode has taken the NXT universe by storm over the past several months. In less than a year with the company, he's become NXT champion by defeating Shinsuke Nakamura. Fans have been enjoying his in-ring work, but there's no doubt that his glorious persona has put him over the top. Fans have fallen in love with Bobby Roode's theme music, Glorious Domination, by CFO. You might not know that the music was not actually created for him. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter and Dave Meltzer, the Glorious Domination theme was actually written for Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura was apparently very hands-on with the creation of his theme, and he didn't think it fit him and his persona. He passed it on and went on to choose the Rising Sun song that he's pretty much became his swan song. It's become very popular. After Nakamura passed over it, the song was given to Bobby Roode and the Glorious One was born. This has played a massive role in Roode's success, and it fits his new character perfectly. Seems like this is a situation that worked out perfectly for both Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura. I can't imagine either one of them without their signature themes. That's amazing, man. I cannot envision Nakamura with the Glorious theme. I can't. I tried, and I can't. I can't do it. That Glorious theme is so Bobby Roode, man. That whole entrance, that whole persona is fucking amazing. Nakamura and the Rising Sun, that, I mean, could it work out any more perfectly? I mean, that is ridiculous to even fathom that Bobby Roode was supposed to have, Bobby Roode's theme was supposed to be for Nakamura. I still can't picture it. It's just amazing how things work out. And I'm glad it worked out the way it did. We got the best of both worlds now. We got Glorious Bobby Roode and we got fucking Nakamura with the Rising Sun. You know, things just work out in weird ways, man. Plans for the New Day and their first feud on Smackdown Live. The New Day were acquired by Smackdown Live in the recent Superstar shakeup. This was a big addition to the Smackdown Live tag team division that has been struggling for the past few months. If the WWE cared at all for the Smackdown Live tag team championships before the Superstar shakeup, they would have put it on WrestleMania 33's card. They did not even defend the titles, the Usos did, at WrestleMania 33. They were placed in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. SmackDown has been airing vignettes for the New Day, saying that they are coming soon. Now, WWE is likely going to keep them off television until Kofi Kingston recovers from an ankle injury, which is not serious. It should be maximum 3 weeks. It was nothing injured. It was just a cleanup of a previous injury, removing bone spurs or something like that. It wasn't serious at all. So when the New Day do return, their first feud will be against, and according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the New Day will be feuding with the tag team champions, the Usos. This feud will be given a solid amount of screen time, and the hope is that it will revitalize the tag team division on SmackDown Live. The secondary feud in the SmackDown tag team division will be American Alpha against Primo and Epico, something that WWE has been building for the past few weeks. It's unclear when exactly the New Day will make their debuts on the blue brand, as it depends on the recovery of Kofi. Even if he isn't 100%, he can appear alongside the team and have Xavier Woods and Big E do most of the work. When they do appear, expect them to make a big impact on SmackDown Live. As long as we get Alpha and New Day for the tag team championships, man. If that is the end goal here, that's something that I would love to see. But I think the New Day mixed in with the hard attitude of the Usos is going to be great, man. New Day's got to develop some type of, I was going to say personality. They do have personality, but they have to develop some type of seriousness to them. You can joke and have fun and be fucking flamboyant all you want. If you're going against the Usos, you got to have some seriousness to them because the Usos are a serious tag team. Their attitude breeds serious. So I hope that WWE does that at least. Either way you look at it, I am excited to see the New Day and the Usos, man. I think that could be very good. And listen, if they're going to build up Primo and Epico, the Cologne brothers, at the same time and have them feud with American Alpha and we get good tag team matches out of that, I'm with that, man. I want to see what Primo and Epico could do. It looks like they shed the travel agents thing. They're not selling timeshare down in Puerto Rico anymore. They're not coming out fucking bragging about margaritas and the Golden Beach and the Blue Oceans. You know, they're not doing none of that. But I would like to see them bring American Alpha to the limit. And I want to see what these guys are capable of. And I want to see them work. Because I know that they can. And there's no better team to work against than American Alpha. But as long as this leads to American Alpha and the New Day at SummerSlam, I would love to see that. I don't know what else we got, man. I don't want to go into too much. Rusev. Let's talk about Rusev. There's one thing here before I end about Rusev in my notes. There was big plans for Rusev prior to his injury. As we saw on Smackdown Live, Jinder Mahal became the #1 contender for the WWE Championship after he won a six-pack challenge that was presented on Smackdown Live. Everybody had Sami Zayn. I had Sami Zayn. But WWE went with Jinder Mahal. And the reason why they went with Jinder Mahal is because of the untapped market in India. Billions of people live in India, and WWE wants a face to put on the map when it comes to the Indian market. Jinder Mahal is their man. Jinder's win came out of nowhere, shocking the wrestling world. Regardless of if you loved it or not, it certainly has got people talking, and he cut a great fucking promo after the match. There are some rumors circulating that Jinder's push might have been destined for somebody else. It was supposed to go to Rusev. In the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer speculated that Rusev was likely the one that was going to get a big push on SmackDown prior to his shoulder injury. Vince is big on the company featuring anti-American heels. As a result, Rusev would have been the #1 choice. With Rusev being on the shelf with a shoulder injury, this left Jinder as one of the only top options. WWE has decided to go all in on Jinder, as we noted prior, working on their expansion into India. This week, the company announced Satish. Remember that name? Satish Srivastava as the new president and general manager of WWE India. He formerly worked for Disney and is expected to do big things for the company in the Indian market. Now, this is only speculation on Meltzer's part, but a lot of it makes sense based on how Jinder was treated by the company over the past few months on Monday Night Raw. He went from losing all of his matches to getting a big spot at WrestleMania involving Rob Gronkowski, and now a title shot against Randy Orton for the WWE title. It would have made a lot of sense to have Rusev in the same role if he did not get injured. So, I don't know what this means. Maybe Rusev picks up where the original rumor started. Maybe he does move up the ladder. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Rusev. I think Rusev has the potential to be a breakout star in WWE. I would work him into the U.S. title situation first, you know. I don't know where Kevin Owens is going with this. I don't know how long Kevin Owens is going to be the U.S. champion. He does have a plethora of opponents coming at him. Anywhere from Sami Zayn, AJ Styles coming up at Backlash. It could be Luke Harper. Any one of those guys, man. Any one of those guys. Mike Bennett, which we talked about before. Shelton Benjamin, if WWE wants to go sign him. But Rusev could also be in that conversation as well. But a lot of people consider Rusev even higher above that. They believe Rusev has the potential to be top-level main event talent. And he could be. He's just been given the short end of the stick. They treated him so great. They booked him so perfectly. And then he never recovered. It was a fucking snowball effect. Lost to Cena. And then he was placed in a feud with Dolph Ziggler. That did nothing for his stock. Then he was in the Sheamus stable there. Right? With Del Rio and Wade Barrett. the League of Losers. Then he was fed to Roman Reigns. They used all those guys to get Roman Reigns over. Did nothing. Never got Roman over. And all of them failed. All of them look like nothing but a bunch of losers. And he comes back, and he wins the U.S. title again. They start building him up slowly, fed to Roman, and he never recovered. He never recovered. So hopefully he has a new life on SmackDown, something that works in his favor. Finally. SmackDown's the land of opportunity. Jinder's getting it. There's no reason why Rusev should not be getting that opportunity as well. That is everything, guys. That is Off the Script Part 1 for this Friday. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys are thinking. There is honestly not much news, man. There is not much news. It's been slow. It's been dead following the brand split, or the superstar shakeup, rather. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully there's more news available going on into the weekend, but hope you enjoyed it, man. If you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up. Share it where you can. Word of mouth is the best way to get the word of Off the Script out there. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Follow me on Twitter at JD206. Show some love. Patreon.com/JD206. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you to Kedrick for the shirt, the NXT shirt. Thank you to those who sent in sub-stories. And what am I missing? And I will let you guys know about the Bischoff situation come next week. I am JD. Thank you guys so much. Again, I apologize for Off the Script being late, but better late than never, man. Hit that thumbs up, show some support, and I will be back right here tomorrow with Part 2 of the #1 podcast right here on YouTube.com, Off the Script. Have a great Friday, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.